Good evening and welcome to the news at 10. Prime Minister Hani Mouqi delivered a letter from His Majesty King Abdullah to the Tunisian President Baji Qaid Essebsi on issues pertinent to historic and long-lasting ties and ways to foster them in various fields. The Tunisian leader, who received the Premier at the Presidential Palace, reiterated Tunisia's keenness in boosting bilateral relations, saying His Majesty the King exerts relentless efforts to develop them. Mouqi, on his part, lauded the depth of brotherly bilateral ties and highlighted stark similarities between the two countries. Prime Minister Hani Mouqi met with his Tunisian counterpart Youssef Al-Shahid, during which he discussed mechanisms of enhancing bilateral relations in all fields. The Prime Minister and Al-Shahid presided over the meeting of the 9th Jordanian-Tunisian Higher Committee. Al-Mouqi underlined the positive role the committee plays in cementing economic and trade cooperation. Discussions also touched on Arab, regional and global issues of mutual interest. Later, Al-Mouqi held talks with Speaker of the Tunisian Assembly of Representatives, Mohammed Al-Nasser. Al-Mouqi called on global parliamentary initiatives to restore the previous Mideast status quo to achieve desired development and prosperity. The Premier also voiced the need to bolster the role of the Arab Parliament to assume its role in resolving regional issues and concerns and to handle rigorous challenges engulfing the Arab nation, and urged to revive pan-Arab cooperation. The Tunisian official, on his part, underscored the significant impact of fostering cooperation among pan-Arab institutions, commending development Jordan has witnessed under the King's leadership in the various domains. The Prime Minister also met with participants of the meeting of the 9th session of the Jordanian-Tunisian Higher Committee, where they stressed the importance of further activating trade exchange between the two countries, especially those agreements signed between Jordan and Tunisia at the higher meetings. 12 people, including children, were injured in 5 air raids launched by the Syrian Air Force on Arbil city, an eastern suburb of Damascus. The city is controlled by rebel group Al-Rahman Corps, with its stronghold Zamalka city in the eastern Ghouta region also targeted by airstrikes said to be carried out by the Syrian regime. Video footage showed warplanes launching airstrikes on Arbil, causing clouds of smoke, with injured people, including children, receiving medical assistance. On the political front, Russian President Vladimir Putin has called for a Congress of the Syrian government and opposition to draw up a framework for the future structure of the Syrian state, adopt a new constitution, and hold elections under the UN supervision. But he also said that any political settlement in Syria would be finalized within the Geneva peace talks process overseen by United Nations. Iraqi forces launched an operation to clear the desert area bordering Syria of Daesh terrorist group in a final push to rid the country of the group. Troops from Shiite Popular Mobilization Forces, also known as Hashid Shabi, were taking part in the campaign against terrorists hiding in a large strip of borderland. Iraqi army commanders said the military campaign will continue until all the frontier with Syria is secured to prevent the group from launching cross-border attacks. Coffee may not only be giving you that morning boost, it could also have health benefits too, and not just one cup of the caffeinated brew. A new study by British scientists says drinking 3 to 4 coffees a day is likely to do more good than harm. Researchers collected evidence from over 200 studies on coffee consumption and health and published the findings in the British Medical Journal. They found those who drink more of it experience lower risks of premature death and heart disease than those who don't have coffee at all. It's also linked to lower risks of diabetes, liver disease, dementia, and some cancers. In sport, Spanish yacht Mapfre continued to hold the lead on the second leg of the Volvo Ocean Race, nearing the coast of South Africa and a view of the iconic Table Mountain at Cape Town. McFree led the 7-strong fleet by 33 nautical miles over second-placed Dongfeng race team. Only 37 miles separated the first 3 yachts, but the approach to Cape Town is quite tricky, and McFree's crew are getting nervous as the Lisbon to Cape Town leg nears to end. And finally, a cold night in Amman and the hilly areas with a low of 8 degrees Celsius tonight. Tomorrow, similar conditions with a high of 15 in Amman. Light to brisk winds raising dust in the Badia and the desert regions. The Gulf of Aqaba should expect a slightly cold evening with a low of 12 degrees and a relatively warm day tomorrow with a high of 24, northwesterly moderate to brisk winds and slightly choppy seas. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news. I'm Leo Balkar. Have a lovely weekend.